Hello, good day. I was working on doing a sketch here for my Medusa painting and was trying to figure out a way to where I wouldn't have to commit if I didn't like the location of it, and then remembered this lovely trick with using wax paper. So I was wanting to show you guys this technique, see if it would help y'all. So basically what I'm doing is I'm taking this image that I found as the reference photo for online, because what I want to do is have Medusa instead riding on Pegasus for the painting of Medusa's Revenge. So basically what I'm going to be doing here is I believe it's called the envelope method. So basically what I'm going to be doing is taking the most furthest points that are sticking out and then boxing them in onto this wax paper. You can't really see it all that well because how transparent it is on this part. But basically what I'm doing is lining up the furthest point from this wingtip to the horse's knee, and then the wingtip to where I think the edge of the sword would be, and then the edge of the sword to where the other wingtip would be, and then the wingtip from the hoof that would be down here on the bottom, and then that hoof over to this other hoof, and then this hoof to this knee. And then basically that way it helps you keep in your proportions that are all correct, because that's my weakness with doing sketches is proportions. It is my personal Achilles heel. So that way it kind of helps keep everything in the right size. Okay, so we're gonna move it back over here. So kind of see the line a little bit. I'm doing it in pencil. That way if I don't like it, it can easily be erased and changed. So just wanted to show you guys this fun little technique. All right, so it's been a while since I've done some sketching, so please bear with me. So it looks like it's got a little bit of a curve, and basically I'm just starting off with like basic shapes, because when you're doing the rough sketches you don't want to go crazy on stuff. All right, so he's kind of doing this number. All right, and you got your sword that is on an angle, so we'll do that. Right, then you have your wing, got the sword doing that, and then her arm is doing this number. The wing is like at the elbow, lined up with the elbow with a little bit of space. Then it arches down and then goes over into the horse. And then this space right here is going to be like the wingspan, negative space. All right, then we have our other hoof here. Goes up, goes over, and then over again. Okay, so now we kind of got an idea for our front legs. This needs to come down for that to do that with the knee. Or I could just do this part. And basically why I'm putting it onto the wax paper is that after I get the sketch, I could play around and see where I want to cut it out, and then play around and see where I want to put it on the painting before having to commit with it 100%. So, do that for the neck, and then the horse's head. It is kind of like so. The ear. The back of the wing is more angled behind the ear. All right, so now we got a rough sketch for the head. Okay. Yeah. It's about like so. With his torso, bottom of his torso. Kind of like cutting across. Yeah, I'm gonna need to move that. Okay. So let's move this up. Yeah, I like that better. Okay. Okay, yeah, I like that better. All right, so got that. Then let's see, because you're also trying to take in now, of course, on the picture, the horse's bottom feet are cut off, so I'm just kind of like estimating how it would look. Based off of how the other feet look, other hooves are. I'm gonna have to go back to that because that is not doing it. All right, we'll just go back to that later. Jumping over to the wing. Okay. Then about yay, so we have horse's rump. It's probably not that circular. probably something along that line. So it's just a rough sketch on it. Get the sword. Or generally pretty taper. Then we have her holding it. And then there's going to be her head. Probably probably gave her too much of a fat head. Because I think there's more space between this head and that head. But it'll be okay. Like I said, this is just a draft. We don't know what we're doing yet. So clearly. Clearly we don't know what we're doing yet, so I might just move her over some. But anyway, it's just a rough idea wanted to share on here. So hope you guys enjoy it, and then I'll just pick it up again later. Right? Hope this day finds y'all well, and I hope you guys are inspired to go out and create your own designs. Anyway, have a good day. Bye. Of course, then shortly after looking at this footage, I realized that I didn't even follow my own advice with the top corners, the sword and wing. So here's some other footage of me going back and then correcting that and then fixing the other areas that I realized I said I was going to go back to and didn't. So we're just going back, we're making those other little tweaks, figuring out the placement of all the stuff, because like I said earlier, proportions are the bane of my existence, artistically speaking anyway. I'm just correcting it and then erasing off of the areas that weren't right. Going over there, making more of a definition on the bottom, coming back over and fixing where that wing tip is and relevance with the sword tip. And yeah, I do like to hop around a lot when it comes to the drawings because that helps me see the balance in the overall piece instead of just focusing on the one space. Because that's the key when it comes to the proportions is the overall balance with it. Because if you focus too long on one thing and then move on to the next area, it's not gonna work out. So it kind of helps when you jump around a lot. Alright, so now I'm going back over, realized, oh, the horse's head needs to be moved over too. So we're fixing that also on here. Again, going through and erasing because we gotta fix our proportions. Even though this is a fictional creature, I still want it to look good. Alright, so working on the spacing on that and relevance also with Medusa, who's going to be riding the back of the horse for Medusa's revenge, where in this version of the story, she is going to be getting revenge back on Poseidon for the events that happened to her. And I'm over here working on the arms for her holding the sword, trying to figure out how that fits with her torso, and then moving on to underneath with her leg. Over here, sketching out her foot and calf and thigh, making sure that bounces over, then hopping over to the other side of her body to get that other side of her torso and arm, deciding whether or not I want to show that arm or put it like where she's like holding on to the horse on the other side, maybe holding on to its mane. So, and basically, like I said earlier, it's just playing around, seeing what works, what doesn't work. That's the nice thing with on this is that It's not a commitment with it. You can move things if you decide later you didn't like it. Like the way I did with the foot. So I decided I didn't like that there. Right. Going over, adding a little bit more detailing to make it, once I found the space the way that I liked it, making it a little bit darker so that way I could see it better. It's more defined. All right, because earlier we were sketching it really lightly, so that way it's easier to erase if it needed to be corrected. So I'm going over it now with a darker grip, adding on the little fine details like the muscles, where the muscles would be falling on the horse, adding in the detailing with the wing, right? Trying to figure out, oh, where do we want to put the tail for it? How do you want the tail to fall on the horse? And with the reference photo, obviously it didn't have it out there completely, so we're just playing with it, seeing how it works. Then kind of doing like a zigzaggy pattern for the feathers that can be taken care of later. I was just trying to do like a rough idea of how I wanted them to look on the end of the wingtips. But anyway, I'm also going to show like a little quick clip or image how I liked that, how it came out in reference with the other piece. And then the next image I thought would be fun to share is where it falls on the painting. So I decided to put it up on the cliff to have it look like she's jumping down and getting ready to attack. So hope you guys have a good rest of your day. And thanks again for watching.